Day 496. So today was my biking day. It's also probably one of my more heavy eating days because today was pizza, homemade. And I got up, did my normal, today was omelet. I'm getting better and better about like making the fold perfect. um, and then I worked, and then I did pizza for lunch. I do a half like spinach, artichoke, mushroom, Swiss cheese mix, and then half like 4 cheese pizza. And so I tried something new this round, and I played around with the flour. I tried something called spelt flour. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but either way, it's an ancient grain that's got more nutrients, less gluten, um, and so you have to be very careful working with it, and that you can overwork it very easily. You can underwork it. I actually didn't have too much of a problem. I got it to form a decent dough ball, and then let it rise, and then I put it in the fridge just like I do my normal one. Um, and I let it sit for 2 days so that it gets really good aeration, and the yeast bubbles kind of work their magic, I guess would be the best way to say it. And yeah, I had no problem making a good pizza crust from it. Um, it was probably a little thicker than I want, but I think that can be solved fairly easily by letting the dough sit. So I warm up the dough. I warm up the dough just before I use it, right? And I think if I let it sit after shaping it for a minute or for a couple minutes, I think it would have had a little bit better aeration in the crust. But either way, I did that. I also played around with another recipe that I wanted to try for a while, which is the jiggly Japanese cheesecake. I made an individual size, and I'd love to say I mastered it on the first try, but I did get the jiggliness, and I got the nice top. My problem was I didn't double wrap the springform pan, and so in foil, and so I did it once, and apparently that wasn't enough because a little bit of water got in the bottom. So the bottom tastes a little more like bread pudding than it did an actual rest of the cake, but it was a very light. It basically is egg whites. Like, that's what gives it its aeration. Otherwise, it's a little bit of flour, a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of sugar for the meringue, the yolk. That's about it, right? It's not a lot of ingredients. It's just timing, preparation. Oh, and butter and cream cheese, duh, and milk. But either way, right? I'd akin it to like an angel food cake, but it's a lot more moist. Kind of mixture between that and an omelet. But either way, it was an interesting experiment. I'll probably make it again because I want to make it perfect, but not this week. So anyways, other than that, I went biking. I did the loop to the office. I needed to pick up a laptop. So I was wearing my backpack. I also went across the bridge, went up the hill to the second light, and came back. I was wearing a backpack throughout, and I did notice my shoulders were hurting a little bit, probably because I was wearing my full-on, overnight bag on my last hike. And so I've decided that my hike for tomorrow, I am going to do the day pack just because I was really feeling my shoulders. And that's, including using the belt. And I need to kind of work up to doing the overnight bag more often. But I've prepped for tomorrow. I'm going to get out there as early as possible. Unfortunately, they don't open till 8. So I'm going to get up, get on the road, but I'll have breakfast beforehand. And I've also got lunch ready to make here at home. So I'm going to do a quick hike, right? My goal is to do more speed and less like carry everything and get through the hike, right? So we'll see what my timing is tomorrow. It is over 10 miles, the loop that I'm going to be doing, but hopefully I can average about 3 miles an hour or plus, and I'll have one stop for snacks and or a couple small stops for Zane. So we'll see how tomorrow goes.